This is a lockdown update. We've got so many really nice bikes lined up, and unfortunately, obviously, we can't get hold of them. We've got some Indians, Hondas, we've got some big bikes, small bikes, all sorts of bikes, Triumphs. So we've got some phenomenal bikes to review. But obviously we are stuck here on lockdown, so spent the day cleaning the Heritage Classic and just about finished.
As usual, whenever we film, it's extremely windy. We haven't had any wind for about a week, but today it's decided to be very windy, which has been the case for most of our videos this year, so sorry about that.
I tend to wash it like this most of the time, just with a damp J-cloth and a polishing cloth, unless it's really muddy or filthy. Saves getting the whole bike wet and getting the brakes all wet, and they tend to go rusty if you get them too wet, so this is usually the easiest way to clean off the dirt and the dust.
So during the winter, you tend to get a lot of condensation on the bike, or we do if it's where we have it. So this spray is absolutely perfect for stopping that. We're not sponsored, we just thought we'd tell you. As you can see, there's literally no rust on the bike. I've seen other examples, if they're 2 years old, you get a bit of like rust on the nips.
One thing we've noticed though, getting back onto the Heritage, we've been test riding all sorts of bikes, and we've been test riding some 125s and various smaller engine bikes. Coming back to the Heritage after riding those, my god, it's so powerful. You forget how powerful it is because you're used to riding it and you've sort of progressed through your life to bigger bikes, and you know, it just seems perfectly normal. But after riding the small bikes, boy, I mean, you have to be ever so careful because it is a phenomenal, powerful bike. So yeah, that's something that surprised me.
The Heritage comes with a back seat, obviously, but if you take that off, because it's designed to have it with the back seat, they've put this sort of sticker on there to protect the paint. If you didn't want to have the back seat on, then you could obviously take that off, but it's handy to have it on to protect the seat.
We've had the Heritage Classic for 2 years now, and still standard. The thing we are going to do is put the FP3 tuner on it, because the throttle mapping on these, as I've said in some other videos, is awful. You've got this sort of delayed response effect, and as you come out of a corner you put the throttle on and you wait and then it hits you. I've hated that for ages, so that's going to be what we're going to do next to the bike. Other than that, to be quite honest, I think it looks alright, and as you can see, with the seat off, the bags or the panniers off and the screen off, it looks like a completely different bike, and you very rarely see a Heritage Classic with all those things off. So let us know what you think, but I think it looks pretty good like that.
So when you said about buying this bike in the first place, I said, oh, don't get that, it's horrible. But once you've seen it without the bags on and without that rear seat, without the screen, it's probably the best looking standard Harley on the whole entire lineup, I think.
Now, one other thing I've been contemplating doing to the bike is to remove these reflectors down here. They don't look so nice. Obviously they've got a practical safety purpose. I've been toying with it for ages and I keep putting off doing it, so I think I'll do it. I mean, one of our followers has said that they've done it and it's probably a good idea. And they've also got reflectors on the bags, which you can't see now, but without those the bike would look a bit more blacked out. It would look better probably.
There's a bit of background noise in this video. There's a bird in the tree and there's some bloke doing a jet wash, so sorry about that. The big thing that makes the Heritage stand out from the rest is that it's still got that cool look, but with the practicality, like having a big mudguard is so practical cleaning wise for yourself and the bike, but it looks so cool. I love the shape of this front mudguard, it's lovely.
Now with the channel Mr. Darcy and the Old Man, the future direction of the channel is all about motorcycle reviews and motorcycle lifestyle videos and bits and pieces that are connected with bikes. We're very interested in motorcycles, always have been. I've been riding since I was 7. And the channel, we're going to look at all sorts of bikes from all different makes, but we're going to just choose the nicest, coolest bikes, because there are a few bikes out there that are sort of horrible. I mean, they've got horrible plasticky things, and there's more plastic than there is metal. We're not going to be riding those sort of bikes, but there's a hell of a lot of nice bikes out there from all makes. So there's some good makes from China, and there's obviously the big makes, the Harleys, the Indians, the Triumphs, Hondas, and all the big manufacturers. But we're going to pick and choose the bikes we're going to be testing.
So as soon as I can, I will be getting a Harley as well. I'm going to get a Harley Iron to start with, do a few bits to it. I would get one now, but obviously I can't because of the licensing, which if you've watched our last video, you'll know all about. But I like off-road bikes as well, so I was thinking of getting a Honda CRF 250, which is obviously quite a hardcore off-road bike, but although it's under the horsepower, it's too light, so I couldn't even get one of those if I wanted to.
That would have to be on a full license, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Even though it's only a 250.
And the Iron is an 883, and that
Yeah.
would be okay if you restrict it slightly, isn't it?
Yeah, only slightly, but
Oh, mad.
yeah.
We're really interested to read your comments on the last video that we did about the learner licensing laws and the stupid licensing in the UK. And having read the comments and thought about it since we did the video, I've kind of come to the conclusion where I still think at 17 or 16 you should have a 125, do the test, and that's it. And then that's, forget about all this bureaucracy and all these different rules. Just you pass your test, you can ride. You know, we have this nanny state that wants to legislate for your safety, and it's just basically putting the problem further down the road, where people just wait and wait and wait, get the license at 24, 25. A week later they can ride a superbike, so it doesn't make any safety difference, I don't think. Now, having ridden all the Harleys, we've basically, our top two favourite Harleys are this and the Breakout. Between the two of them, this is the more practical bike. I love the Breakout. I love those forks that have a rake sticking out like that. It rides beautifully, but I think overall this is probably the best handling of all the Softails. The geometry of it, the weight, the width, the size of the tyres, everything is just right. So it's a very good handling bike despite it being enormous. But the Breakout is super cool as well. So it's horses for courses, really. It depends what sort of style you like. If you need to go on further, longer journeys, this is the better one because you can put the panniers on the back. And it's got a bit more practicality. You can put the screen on and that keeps the wind off you. The Breakout's a very naked bike, it's very minimalistic, but a perfect bar hopper bike, you know, that would be pretty cool.
So obviously we've been reviewing lots of smaller bikes like 125s and 400cc's, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be doing the big bikes still. We've still got plenty of big bikes to come from Harley and Triumph and whatsoever, so lots of those.
Now, one thing we are going to do after lockdown, a few friends of mine, we're all looking forward to getting back on our bikes. We're going to ride down from here to London. We're going to go to Ace Cafe for breakfast. That'll be great. It'll be about 10 or 12 bikes turning out, all Harleys. Then we're going to go off to the Bike Shed, which is a really cool bikers cafe in London. And you can ride through the place and park your bikes around the back. Oh, phenomenal. So we'll do a video about that. It'll be really interesting.
Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, leave the comments below and subscribe to the channel for more.